Victoria had always been a thrill seeker. She thrived on pushing her limits, seeking adrenaline rushes that left her heart pounding and her senses alive. But one fateful night, her quest for excitement would her to the edge, quite literally. It was a stormy evening, rain pelting the windows of her high-rise apartment on the 50th floor. Lightning cracked across the sky, casting eerie shadows throughout her room. Victoria couldn't resist the temptation any longer. She had heard stories of daredevils scaling skyscrapers in the dead of night, and tonight, she decided it was her turn. With a backpack filled with climbing gear, she made her way to the rooftop. The wind howled as she reached the summit, her heart pounding with exhilaration. The view was breathtaking, with the city lights twinkling below like stars fallen to earth. Victoria secured her harness, tested her ropes, and began her ascent down the side of the towering structure. The feeling of the rain-soaked building against her fingertips sent shivers down her spine, but she pressed on. The adrenaline coursed through her veins as she descended lower and lower. But then, disaster struck. A gust of wind caught her off guard, and she lost her grip. Victoria began to plummet, the world around her spinning in a chaotic blur. Fear gripped her like a vice as she hurtled towards the ground, unable to do anything to stop her impending doom. In those few agonizing moments, she had time to reflect on the choices that had led her to this terrifying situation. Regrets and fears flooded her mind as the ground rushed up to meet her. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, it all stopped. Victoria awoke with a jolt, gasping for air, her heart still pounding, and her body drenched in sweat. She was not falling, she was safe in her bed, surrounded by the comforting darkness of her room. It had all been a dream, a vivid and horrifying nightmare that had felt all too real. Trembling, Victoria reached for the glass of water on her nightstand and took a long sip, trying to calm her racing heart. The memory of her dream lingered, haunting her as she struggled to shake off the feeling of impending doom. As she lay there, she couldn't help but think that perhaps this was a sign, a wake-up call from her subconscious. Maybe she didn't need to risk her life to find excitement and meaning. With that realization, Victoria decided to channel her thirst for adventure in safer and more meaningful ways, vowing to live her life to the fullest, not by risking it all.